What's cracking, big dogs? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the HQ. This is Nicholas. This is Big Dogs Gotta Eat Fantasy Football. And this is the Week 6 Patreon-only live stream for all y'all patrons out there. This is a private live stream. If you're joining us on YouTube afterwards, then I suggest you head over to patreon.com/BDGE to sign up with your boy for all the exclusive content. Get these private live streams where you could ask your sit-start questions. You get the waiver wire exclusive article. You get my weekly rankings, and you get to see me dress up like this. It is my wedding day. Marrying Chandra. This is my third wife, actually. See, I'm going dot on dot. That's what we call race on race crime right there. What's up, boys? What up, Bourgeois? What up, Austin? Today we're talking sit starts, obviously, as we always do on Saturdays. And I'm going to start this video off with some wide receiver cornerback matchups in terms of who PFF expects to get shadowed. Now, Detroit and Green Bay, they have a complete shadow coverage matchup with the Detroit wide receivers and the Green Bay cornerbacks. And we'll get into some sit-start questions from you guys personally. Obviously, if you are Patrons, those will be your questions. As soon as I get down the shadow coverages and the defensive player injuries for the week that will impact the matchups that you don't really hear too often about throughout the week. Again, Green Bay is supposed to be shadowing the Detroit wide receivers. Right now, PFF has Jaire Alexander, who is the second best coverage cornerback right now per their grades. On Marvin Jones, I would expect him probably to shadow Kenny Golladay instead, but either way, they expect Kevin King to be on one of them, and they expect Jaire Alexander to be on the other one. Jaire has been fucking lights out, obviously, so it's a tough matchup. Against Green Bay, they've been a very good pass defense. They also expect, on the flip side, Detroit's cornerbacks to shadow Green Bay's wide receivers. Darius Slay returned to practice this week. He is questionable, so we'll have to see what happens there. Davante Adams is going to be out for this game, so we'll get some shadow coverage from Rashawn Melvin, maybe Darius Slay, maybe Justin Coleman, who's been absolute lights out in the slot, so it's a tough matchup for Geronimo Allison. MVS will get Darius Slay if Darius Slay returns. So a few tough matchups there. And then we have the Houston versus Kansas City Chiefs matchup where DeAndre Hopkins is expected to get shadowed by Rashad Breeland. And that is not pretty for Breeland. He has been doing some shadow coverage as of late, but he is graded out as one of the worst coverage cornerbacks in the NFL at this point. So DeAndre Hopkins, can we please fucking do something? Please. All right, let's keep going with the shadow coverages. Who else we got? We expect Alshon Jeffrey to be shadowed by Xavier Rhodes, if you've been following me for about fucking any amount of time, so up to this point, we know Xavier Rhodes is not the Xavier Rhodes that we have come to know and love over the last couple of years. He is not the lockdown cornerback anymore. Either way, it's a tough matchup, though. Minnesota's just a very, very good defense overall. So Jeffrey, shadowed by Xavier Rhodes. We have Mike Evans supposed to be shadowed by James Bradbury. We saw him get absolutely locked up last week by Marshawn Lattimore. So we'll have to see. Mike Evans has been very inconsistent. This matchup is not easy. James Bradbury has been a very good cornerback thus far. Dante Jackson is one of the guys that's questionable going into this week, cornerback for the Panthers. Again, right after this, we'll get into defensive players questionable for upcoming matchups this weekend. And then lastly, we have Terry McLaurin against Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard is questionable going into this matchup, so we're not actually sure if he's going to play. It'll be a tough matchup for the rookie Terry McLaurin. Howard has not played up to his contract level, but he's been good for the most part. And anytime you're going against a rookie, obviously it's going to be a tough matchup for that rookie. Let's get into the defensive questions, or the questionable players for this week's matchups. We got a lot of them, so stay with me. We have a lot of cornerbacks. We have Desmond Trufant, who is the top cornerback for Atlanta. He is ruled out. Jimmy Smith for Baltimore finally, I believe he returned to a limited practice, but he is also ruled out. He's not going to play for Baltimore, and their defense has been miserable since Jimmy Smith has been out. Again, Dante Jackson is questionable for this matchup. He is the cornerback for Carolina, who is graded out really, really, really well so far. Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, the cornerbacks for the Cleveland Browns are both questionable with these hamstring injuries. So monitor that. They both returned. It's like they're literally fucking twins, and they're dealing with the exact same injury. Both returned to limited practices, so keep an eye on that. Darius Slay, like I said, is questionable against Green Bay. Jalen Ramsey, I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. He's not injured, still dealing with the whole trade talk, so maybe he returns against the Saints this week. Maybe he doesn't. Probably not. Ian Rappaport said that Very unlikely to see him out on the field, which means that it's probably very likely that we do see him on the field. Aqib Talib, top cornerback for the Rams, is ruled out. So obviously an upgrade for the 49ers passing offense. As I mentioned, Xavier Howard is questionable with a knee injury from Miami. Sidney Jones for Philadelphia returned to practice. So they need some kind of bodies this week against Minnesota to cover, Adam Thielen or Stephon Diggs or cover fucking anyone out there because they can't cover anyone at this moment. Then we have Steven Nelson, who was just ruled out, cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is top 15 right now, actually. Top 15 coverage corner per PFF. So that's a big hit to their secondary. Lights up for Keenan Allen. A couple defensive tackles, Chris Jones of KC, obviously, and actually both defensive tackles for the Chiefs. Chris Jones, Xavier Williams, both ruled out for this one. Xavier Williams was placed on the IR after last week. Upgrade to Carlos Hyde in this run game, and a bunch of big edge defenders are questionable or out for this week. We have Melvin Ingram for the Chargers. He is questionable to go against the Steelers. We have Cameron Wake for the Tennessee Titans, who's the 15th highest graded edge defender, along with Shaq Barrett for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cameron Wake is already out, so that's a big upgrade for Denver. Barrett is questionable, along with his teammate Mike Edwards, the safety. Questionable against Carolina. And then we have CJ Mosley, who is doubtful for his game against Dallas with the New York Jets. So, Jesus Christ. Let me take a breath and let's talk some sit starts. Let's welcome everybody into here. I can't talk for too long because, as you can see, I'm heading to a wedding directly after this live stream. I'm probably going to be late. I'm going to walk in as someone's getting married. I'm going to fucking object to it. It's like, oh, do you take him to be your wife? I'm going to be like, we fucking bike. We object. You're not allowed to get married. Big dog's here. All right. Worried about Kamara's injury this week. Yeah, I am a little bit worried. The downgrade midweek is never a good thing to see. In my rankings, I still have him playing, but it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if we saw them rest him a little bit. I believe their bye week is coming up. Let me pull up the matchups real quick. The bye week's coming up either next week or the week after because I believe Drew Brees should probably be returning after that bye week. So it might be smart of them to sit Kamara. No, never mind. That's a big lie. Big lies only from me. They play Jacksonville, and they're at Chicago. Then they're against Arizona. So he's questionable right now. I'm definitely a little bit nervous about him. But obviously keep an eye on Zech Lipots. What else do we got here? What up, Mika? What up, Austin? What up, Thomas? What it be? What it do? What's your take on the future of KC wide receivers? I'm very interested to see what happens. I have Byron Pringle actually graded out as the highest guy in my rankings this week. Assuming Watkins is not playing, I'm pretty sure he's not going to play. And then Tyreek Hill, I don't know. If Tyreek Hill is in the game, if he is active, he's in my lineup. There's no way I'm not playing Tyreek Hill. And I'm sure he's going to run like 4 snaps and fucking do exactly what Sammy Watkins has been doing for me. But Byron Pringle is my favorite guy outside of Tyreek Hill, assuming he plays. Have Mecole Hardman as the 2 because I think he gets a lot of slot snaps. Obviously, Tyreek Hill returning or Sammy Watkins returning hurts the guys on the outside because they're both outside wide receivers. All right. Stop yelling at me. It's Saturday morning. Tuck your fucking shirts in. Show some respect. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. We got 18 people in here and only 2 thumbs up right now. What's good? Don't we usually have like 40 people in here? Why is there only 18? Did I send out the wrong link or something? All right. Who should I flex? Chase Edmonds or Curtis Samuel standard league? I think, man, that's probably going to heavily depend on what happens with DJ. I mean, most of these questions you could probably get answered via my rankings, which I post on Patreon, obviously, patreon.com/BDGE. What is it? Curtis Samuel versus Tampa Bay or Chase Edmonds? Right now, I'd probably go with Curtis Samuel in standard. More likely to have a big play, more likely to get into the end zone. Chase Edmonds will probably be involved more on passing downs. But obviously, if David Johnson doesn't play, then throw Chase Edmonds in there, no brainer. Crazy to bench OBJ for Fuller. I saw your post about Fuller, but I can't see the Texans being able to run like the Colts did half PPR. No, it's not crazy at all. I've been moving Odell down my rankings. I still do have Odell above Fuller, but it's not something that I would knock you for. I don't think it's that crazy. considering the Chiefs' D-line is banged up, so it's going to be tough for them to get pressure on Watson. Obviously, that lets more time for Fuller to get down the field and develop those longer plays. Plus, Kenny Stills is still very much questionable. If Kenny Stills sits, then yeah, I think Fuller obviously gets an upgrade there because Stills was starting to take a lot of the deep targets away from both Hopkins and Fuller. He got hurt, and now QT fills in for him, is only getting those like shorter targets. So Fuller should still very much be involved. I do worry a little bit that with the defensive tackles of the Chiefs out and just their overall run defense being fucking putrid, that Bill O'Brien's going to give Carlos Hyde like 48 fucking carries, which would be a little bit of an issue for Deshaun Watson in that passing game. But no, I don't think you're crazy, Michael. Thomas Fife, do you keep Herndon on the bench until he heals? I mean, it depends on your situation. At this point, I don't think he's a must keep. Like, it's not like before where we were really excited about him coming back. At this point, it's becoming an issue. If you need that other bench spot for another player, then I say you could drop Herndon at this point. But if you have the luxury of being able to hold on to him, I wouldn't hate that either. You think Melvin Gordon will put up high-end RB2 numbers this week? Steelers' run defense started off so hot in the beginning of the year, and they're still pretty good. But I feel like this is a Chargers, very much a Chargers game script right now. This one against the Steelers with their third-string quarterback in. So they're talking about getting him more touches, more opportunities, and more snaps. And I'm like, I mean, Gordon got 18 opportunities last week. And that's around, like, the average that he had last year. So I don't know how much more touches they're going to give him. 6 targets, 12, 13 carries or whatever. But, yeah, I think we'll see a better week out of Melvin Gordon fantasy-wise. PPR league, need one wide receiver, one flex, Eckler, Breda, Boyd, Juju, Diggs. Ooh, boy. Give me a second on that one to wrap my head around all those names. So we need, what was it? One running back, one wide receiver, one flex. So let's break it down. We need one running back out of Eckler and Breda. I'm going to go with Eckler there. I still think he's going to be super involved in this game until eventually he gets a little bit fizzled out by Melvin, but not anytime soon. And I don't trust Breda's workload. He had that big touchdown run, obviously, but if he doesn't have that, like what is his game? You know what I mean? So I like Breda, of course, but we're going to go one running back for Mika. We're going to go Eckler there. One wide receiver. What is it? Boyd, Juju, and Diggs. I would probably go with Boyd there. I mean, as long as John Ross is out, Boyd's going to continue to get a ridiculous number of targets. I don't love the matchup he has this week with Marlon Humphrey, most likely. I tweeted out something about Marlon Humphrey, who's been pretty much shut down against wide receivers the last couple of weeks. He did let up like 50 yards and a touchdown to Juju, but it tells you that he's traveling in the slot a lot of the time, which is where Boyd obviously operates. So I think I'll go with Boyd there in a full PPR, and then that's left with one flex, right? Breda, Juju, Diggs. Yeah, man, it's so hard to trust Diggs. It's hard to trust Juju, obviously, too. I feel like, you know what? I'm actually going to tell you to go with Juju there. I think this offense is obviously in trouble, but I think they're going to – I think what backup quarterbacks end up doing is just relying on their best player, especially in the pass game. So I feel like Juju actually low-key has a pretty solid game here. So I'll go with Juju there, my friend. Bourgeois, who do you think I should pick between these two tight ends and half PPR, Graham or Cook? We're going to go with Jimmy Graham there. With Davante Adams out, it just seems like Rodgers has a little bit more of an eye for Graham, and I don't trust Cook whatsoever. Tyrell Williams in Oakland, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson on Jets, half PPR, drop one for rest of season. If I'm dropping one for the rest of damn, that's tough. I'm going to keep Tyrell for sure because he's just the number one in that passing game when he's healthy. Hopefully he's healthy. So between DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson is kind of a coin flip for me. This will be an unpopular opinion, but I would actually go Robbie Anderson based on their schedule. Their schedule will get so fucking easy in like week 8 or week 9. And DJ Moore, it's just so hard to trust because you never know what's going on with that quarterback situation in Carolina. So I personally like Robbie Anderson. Derrick Henry or Tyreek Hill for PPR flex? That's a good question. I'll probably go with Derrick Henry. I'm scared of Tyreek Hill, to be honest. I'm scared to throw him in my lineup. I'm going to put him in my lineup if he's active, but if I have better options, I'll go with the other option. So I'll go with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's good for the Titans getting a fucking flag in the end zone and then him rolling into the end zone every week. So, Nick, I need your help for sure with Gurley being out. I already have David Johnson and need to pick my RB2 and his handcuff with Chase Edmonds or Miles Sanders. Oh, that's brutal. You might end up having to start both. So we're assuming that David Johnson plays, basically is what you're asking me, because obviously if he doesn't, then you're just going to have to go with those two. I actually have, in my overall rankings, I have Miles Sanders and Chase Edmonds as literally 89 and 90. I have Miles Sanders a little bit ahead of him just because he's being pretty involved in the passing. What, Danny, you didn't give me the scoring settings, did you? No, you didn't. I need that, my friend. Any trust in Dante Jackson this week as a flex? No. Not with whatever the Devlin as his quarterback. Unless you're in like a 14 or 16 team league or really deep rosters where you're starting like 6 flex players, that's not a good situation to be in. Need these scoring settings, my guy. Full PPR, brother, for both of my questions. Sorry, bud. All right, Danny, I'll roll you out real quick. For full PPR, I have Miles Sanders ahead of Chase Edmonds by 1 spot, but it's seeing as it's 89-90, probably a coin flip. I do think they'll probably get Chase Edmonds more involved, in this Atlanta Falcons defense is so fucking bad compared to the Vikings defense. So I'd actually might give the edge to Chase Edmonds there, but I wouldn't. It's not. I don't think it's a big gap for either of them. Last one for me, flex Demarcus Robinson, banged up Marquise Robinson. I'm assuming you mean Marquise Brown, or banged up Christian Kirk. Ooh, again, thanks, my dude. Well, we don't know if either of those guys are playing, so it's hard to kind of give you a real answer there. I tell you what, if Christian Kirk plays, though, I like him. Because Desmond Trufant's going to be out for the Falcons, and that's probably who would line up against Kirk. So I'd go Kirk if he plays, and then Demarcus Robinson. Ronald Jones or Mike Williams? Give me Mike Williams with Steven Nelson officially out for the game. Why is Pringle graded your highest chief wide receiver starting flex? Yeah, I mean, he had more snaps than Mecole Hardman last week, and he looked like the biggest piece of that passing game. If Watkins misses time, I like Pringle a lot. It's big, got the size, got the speed. It's just like an upgrade on Demarcus Robinson, basically, in every aspect. For my flex half PPR, Scary Terry, Hollywood, or Melvin Gordon? I'll go with Terry there. Matchup's just too damn juicy, especially if Xavier Howard misses this game. Start Melvin Gordon or Chris Carson in PPR? Oh, give me Chris Carson for sure. Are we worried about MBS yet? Yeah, I mean, depending on your league, he's probably in and off the waiver wire. I would give him this game. He should have had a monster game last week, but Aaron Rodgers is fucking terrible, bro. He's just throwing out fucking balls, underthrowing people and stuff. He doesn't look good, which is killing MBS, obviously, because MBS is a deep ball guy. But he was like, he killed his coverage corner last week on one of the throws, and Aaron Rodgers underthrew him by like 6 yards. Otherwise, it would have been like an 80-yard touchdown. So give him one more week. If they don't connect, then yeah, it's probably drop time. Trade Marvin Jones and Breda for Cortland Sutton. No, I don't think I'd do that. Unless both of them are on your bench. But I realistically don't see Sutton as a huge upgrade over Marvin Jones. And then obviously Breda is a good player that you could throw in during bye week. So FPPR need 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Fitz, Brandon Cooks, Lindsey. So I'm definitely going to go with Fitz in there against the Falcons pass D. Possibly Kirk banged up. No Desmond Trufant, and we're just missing all of our fucking players on defense. So Fitz is definitely the wide receiver I'm taking, and then flex between Cooks and Lindsey. It's a good question. Who is Denver playing against again? Denver's playing Tennessee, right? They're going to be without Cameron Wake, so that's kind of an upgrade for Lindsey. I'll take Lindsey. This San Francisco pass D is very good. and I don't trust the Rams offense in this one. I think they're going to hit the under, to be honest. So give me Lindsey and Fitz there, Billy. Can you talk a little bit about why you like Damien Williams more than Austin Eckler in your rankings? I think as the weeks go on, we're going to see Melvin Gordon start to get more and more and more involved and take a lot more work from Eckler. And, a lot of Eckler's past work last week that we're kind of buying into or thinking that he's going to be this huge piece of the offense is like they were down the entire game and they threw him like 8 passes in the final 4 minutes of the game. Damien Williams it's clear that it's his backfield. So if you own the backfield in the Chiefs offense, that's my guy. Looking snazzy, Nick. Cody and I can always count on you to make me blush a little bit. Yeah, I figured I'd rock the bow tie. I was debating. I have a bow tie that's like the color of this, the background of this picture. It's like bright orange, and I was gonna wear that, but I ended up going dot on dot. It's that dot on dot crime. Matt LaFleur officially rules Davante Adams out for Monday. Cool. Sick. Marvin Jones or Juju, 1 point PPR. Let's go with Juju. Hey, Nick, full PPR. Should I start Sutton versus Tennessee or Hill versus Houston? I'm nervous that Hill will be limited if he plays. Yeah, I'm nervous about that too. Personally, I'm going to throw Hill in there, but if you want to go a little bit risk averse, I would definitely not knock you for going Cortland Sutton there, bruh. Tough matchup, though, against Tennessee. They got good corners. With Gurley out, is Malcolm Brown an auto start in full PPR? I wouldn't say he's an auto start, but he definitely becomes like a plug-and-play RB2. I'm debating that actually makes it a really tough choice for me in half PPR in my E-Town Get Down League. I will be debating between – oh, man, my flex spots are really fucking messy this week. I have to choose between Will Fuller, Malcolm Brown, and Scary Terry. And I'm probably going to end up going with Malcolm Brown over Melvin Gordon too even. No, I'm not. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Stay tuned for my rankings. I'm going to update them tomorrow morning when I'm hungover as fuck after this wedding. So if you see my rankings tomorrow – and they're all over the place and they're out of control, and you're like, why is Mohamed Sanu the wide receiver fucking 4? It's because I have far too much tequila tonight. Giving Adams for Bell and Shark half VPR. Yeah, I'm definitely cool with that, Matt. So Carlos Hyde or Dante Jackson at flex PPR? Carlos Hyde. Great matchup this week. They're going to ride him probably. Why are you down on Mike Williams in the rankings? Great talent, high touchdown upside, and his situation isn't bad. I don't know. He's just completely fucking inconsistent. Like you say, his touchdown upside is huge. He literally has 0 touchdowns this year on like 35 targets. He hasn't surpassed 83 yards. He has 3 receptions in 3 out of the 4 games. So you're using recency bias coming off last game where he had 13 targets, but outside of that, it was 7, 5, and 3. So touchdown upside that he had last year is not there. He has 0 touchdowns thus far. Send me the address to the wedding. So if you just go to your GPS and you type in headquarters, it should take you there. Trade Marlon Mack for Le'Veon Bell in Standard League. Yeah, I'm cool with that, Wheezy. Wheezy, baby. I'll take Bell. Cooks or Coleman, half PPR flex. I think I like Coleman there. Cooks is hard to trust this week coming off the concussion and just the overall involvement in that offense. Yeah, you like the dot on dot. I was like really. I don't know how I felt about it, but it's going to be this might be the bad part. I'm going with a black jacket over it. Is that bad? Should I not go with a black jacket with a navy like dot on dot underneath? Talk to me, people. Style 102. No black jacket. Gray. Fuck. I don't have a gray jacket, unfortunately. It's really. No, dude, honestly, it's not that bad of a look. I was going to go with black on black. All right, give me a sec. Let me go get it. See, I feel like this isn't bad at all. Come on now. The black on blue is not that bad. George, I honestly don't know if you're being sarcastic, but I am going with the brown belt and brown shoes. So I'm going to have black, blue, brown belt, brown shoes. There we go. The thumbs up. As soon as you see it on me, you're like, damn. Thank you, Julian. Pocket tie makes it work. God damn. It won't be flashy, but you're going to get That's right. That's right. The quiet ones walk away. GF says no black. I'm happy. What? No. Ask your girlfriend again. That's some nonsense. She approves. Wow, I've fallen in love. What are your brown shoes called? What do you mean? What are they called? Oh, they're the company. They're Cole Haans. Looks better than I thought. Go buy a gray jacket. Stop it. I'm gonna look like a fucking clown. You know what's funny? I gotta go. I'm Ubering with my sister and her boyfriend to the wedding, and I left my dress shoes in New Jersey. We're at my mom's house, so she's meeting us at the wedding and bringing my shoes. So I'm gonna have to take the subway. Like I gotta take the New York City subway down to meet my sister. But I'm gonna be wearing my like full suit on the subway. But I don't have my shoes here, so I have to wear like some shitty shoes. Like I'm gonna wear my Vans or something. I feel like people are gonna take pictures of me and shit. I'm gonna see myself on Barstool, like huge fucking hipster in Brooklyn is a cunt. I'm like, you're not wrong. Last question. Half PPR, stuck with OJ since I picked up Herndon. He isn't playing. Should I drop OJ or Tyrell Williams and pick up Graham or Hunter Henry? What would you do? So I have, like I'm fine dropping Tyrell Williams. I'm fine dropping Tyrell Williams there and picking up Graham and playing him over OJ. I have Graham ranked higher. I think, again, with Davante Adams out, Graham should see steady work in the passing game. I'm definitely not throwing Hunter Henry in my lineup yet. Not sure about that. I'm telling you, the brown shoes are going to look fucking horrible with this. I already know, but whatever. Listen. Can't be perfect everywhere. Yeah, George knows. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, if you're joining us afterwards, one, I apologize for all this fucking nonsense. I always do. But two, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. All right? Show some goddamn respect. Show some respect for the headquarters. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Head over to Patreon, patreon.com/BDGE, where you'll get my weekly rankings. You'll get access to this private live stream. You'll get my waiver wire article, and you'll get your questions answered. I don't know if you really want this from Snacks, Animal, and Noah on the community forum. Hey, George, I also need you to do something for me. Sorry, I reposted this question, didn't hear the answer. I don't think I got to it. I'll get to your questions in a little bit. George, I need you to look up a text message marketing platform. Okay. So look up this app called Community. It's in beta, so we can't use it yet. So we can't use Community yet. We need to find an app that's like Community where we can text people. So it's like building an email list or an email newsletter where people sign up, but they give us their phone numbers and we can interact with them via text. So George, your homework for the rest of the weekend, by the time I wake up and regain consciousness from what I drink, locks ever return. Also, will bagel and locks ever return? Yeah, what do you mean ever return? They've done it every fucking Sunday. They didn't miss last week. I don't have anywhere to go get black shoes, my friend. Have to stream for a tight end for Waller's bye. Witten, Cook, Font, McDonald, half PPR. Give me Witten with Randall Cobb probably out for sure. I think he's going to use him as a safety valve, especially with both of their. I think both the Cowboys tackles might be out for this game, unless maybe it's one tackle, one guard, but they're hurt on the offensive line. Looking for good trade value for Lockett. Why? Cameo.com/Nick Ercolano. I would do cameos, but it'd be for hookers only. Yeah, honestly, your kid means nothing to the brand. Like, he's less than nothing. If he could conceivably understand what this meant, I would tell him that he's fucking fired. Yeah, my boy Snacks with the money picks. Yeah, I think people are like legit underestimating like the dominance that Snacks is going through on Bagels and Locks right now. Bagels and Locks is the biggest money-making show in terms of NFL picks that has hit the fucking mainstream this year. Because one, if you ride Snacks' picks, you're like 13-2. Two, if you just fade Animals picks, you're also like 13-2. So right now you could basically be 26-4, I think, on bets against the spread, which is absurd. But that's a lot of money to be made. So if you haven't been watching Bagels and Locks on Sunday morning with Snacks and Animal, you're literally doing yourself a disservice. When they told me they wanted to do it at first, I was like, this is like fucking, I was like, I don't want any part of this. Like, you guys can make your own show. I am not doing the thumbnails. I'm not doing the video editing. I'm not going to be there. I don't have time for this nonsense. You could throw it up on my YouTube channel if you want. I want no part of it. And now Bagels and Locks is just the fucking, it's key. It's key. It's key to the brand. I think we'd fall apart if I took it off air. Ronald Jones or Mike Williams, half PPR. Mike Williams. Thoughts on Jameson Crowder rest of the season now Darnold is back? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people will probably be riding that initial game where he saw like 48,000 targets. I'm not too high on him. I'm sure he'll be a fine half PPR flexish play. Is it wrong that I love watching you guys tear into Animal? Reminds me of my cruise interaction. No, it's not wrong. We don't do it for the sake of just tearing into him, though. Like, we do it because he has fucking horrendous takes sometimes and he needs to be torn into. That's how you build yourself back up, right? Just like when you work out, you tear your muscles down and then your body rebuilds it. Unfortunately, like, you have to give your body, you know, protein and the correct fats and things for it to be rebuilt. And Animal doesn't feed his brain with things that help him become better. So every single week we just continue to tear into him. Concern level of George Kittle with a groin injury suffered Friday. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about that if I'm a Kittle guy. I actually moved him down my rankings. I think it's tight end 5. I want to say I just moved Mark Andrews ahead of George Kittle. I mean, he's still like a top 5 or 6 play for me, but I'm a little nervous. What do you think about Zeke's schedule for the rest of the season? Honestly, I haven't looked at it. I just what are you going to do with Zeke? Just throw him in your fucking lineup every week. Facts. Animal equals squeaks in basketball. It's funny. Jet schedule week 9 through 14 is very nice. Yeah, we know that already. Billy Bryson, let me get back to this last question you had. Sorry. Standard league, got Gurley out. Tragic need to flex either Breda or Fitz. Other 2 wide receivers are locked in. Edelman already in my lineup. Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to go with Fitz over Breda there. Breda just doesn't get enough touches, and Fitz, this is just going to be a fucking huge game. Oh, there you go. You asked it again. Great. I love that when people follow up because I'm fucking all over the place with my ADD and shit. Yeah, let's go with Fitz here. The Atlanta Falcons defense is just the most fucking porous, fucking fictitious, fucking vindictive to me personally, fucking trash ass, fucking unbelievable, disgusting, fucking piece of garbage that's put on fucking television. So done with Dan Quinn. Fire his fucking ass. PPR Miles Sanders or Marvin Jones or Demarcus Robinson. Ooh. Depending on if Tyreek Hill plays. If Tyreek Hill plays, we're going to go with Marvin Jones. If Tyreek Hill doesn't play, we're going to go with Demarcus Robinson, Daniel. And y'all, I got to go to this wedding. So if you want to follow some of the behind the scenes, you can follow me on Instagram at Nick or Colano. I think it's just my name. I don't even know. There's too many fucking social media things going on in this goddamn world of mine. So that's going to be it for this video. If y'all enjoyed, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go subscribe on Patreon as well. Patreon.com/BDGE, where you will get access to all of this, including my personal terrible style tips. like matching blue with polka dots, with black, with brown, with gray. Aaron, you asked PPR, flex, Juju, Cooks, or Diggs? Ooh, close. I'm actually going to go with Juju there in full PPR. Half PPR, Miles Sanders, Malcolm Brown, Chris Thompson. Give me Malcolm Brown there. Talk about what happens on the offseason with subscriptions. Me and Animal and the team has been in talks with each other trying to figure out what we want to do in the offseason. But don't worry, we will continue. It'll probably be a lot of dynasty talk and things like that. So if you play in dynasty, it'll definitely be good for you. But I'll make sure that we have some good content coming all offseason long. I love you. We out. Goodbye. Enjoy your weekends and your Saturday nights. Be safe. Drink a lot of tequila. Don't be that safe.